Yeah, no, they connect pretty early on in the film through walkie-talkies, and they stay in touch. And yeah, no, it's about keeping that thread going throughout Santa's journey, because obviously it's an action movie. We got crazy action and stunts and all that stuff, but weaving in and out of that is that relationship with Trudy and him. And yeah, that kind of is the thing that holds it all together. I said early on to the producers in the studio, if we get that relationship right, we can go as crazy as we want with the rest. Because yeah, no, that's the key to the film, and it truly was. He's so good and so funny, and he brought so much to the character. Like, that character is so much him as well in there, and he loves to ad-lib, to throw funny lines in there, and he really made that character come alive. And in addition, we kind of together found, like, we knew we wanted Scrooge to have an extra element. It shouldn't just be about robbing that family. So we came up with a backstory that he loved and embraced, and to make it about something more in the end when he faces off with Santa without spoiling anything. But yeah, no, he was a blast to work with, and such a funny guy. And that scene, you know, when he faces off with David, Santa versus Scrooge in that room, sitting in each chair and having a long dialogue scene, was one of my favorite things to shoot, because two great actors, they had great chemistry, and yeah, that was a highlight for me to shoot that. Every single one of them killed it, and really, again, like, understood the heart of the film. Like, they had freedom to be funny and crazy and try things, but in the end, yeah, it was all about staying within that Christmas, that beating heart of Christmas is what I'm trying to say. And it was also fun, like, you know, bringing in Beverly D'Angelo from Christmas Vacation, which is a movie that was so important to me when I was a kid, and she had so much fun with that role. And I never, you know, there's an introduction scene with her where she's going back and forth in the hallway, swearing a lot. And a lot of that was her own stuff. And I was really impressed with her diversity in swearing. I think some directors think or find shooting action can be kind of not boring, but it's painstakingly takes a long time. And I personally, I love it. I think it's one of my favorite things to do. And obviously, we also had a great second unit director, Jojo Eusebio, who killed it and did a lot of the action as well. But this is a movie that, yes, we have the relationship with Trudy and Santa, but it's also a big action movie, and we got to deliver on that front. And it was really fun sitting down, trying to map out the different action beats and how we kind of reveal Santa, who he really is, to those beats. And also, what we kind of came up with really early on, and we discussed a lot, okay, how can we bring Christmas into every fight? How can we bring Christmas decorations or Christmas, anything that relate to Christmas, we want to bring that into the fights and embrace it. And, you know, as you saw, like, we had also Santa's endless sack of gifts and his reindeers and how we can go up chimneys. Like, we want to use all that and more within the fights to really make that. That's the key. That was our way into making the fights unique and stand out, was to really just use Christmas. It was colder than usual. Winnipeg, I have to say, was surprisingly cold. And yes, I'm used to it, but it was really, really cold at certain times. And there was actually one day we had to quit early because the oil within the dolly, which is the camera gear, froze. And it's got to be pretty cold for the oil to freeze in that gear. But yeah, no, but it also gives the movie something. It gives an extra element to the film. The fact that we were out there doing it with real snow and real trees and mountains, like, all that was real, and it really, you can feel it, I think, in the film. Well, that's the key. That's the key to everything, is what you're bringing up there, because it is all about balance. And how far do you push this? How far do you push that? Can we do this? You got to make sure that you kind of stay within the world you're creating and the tone you're setting up. But I felt really early on, if we can embrace the Christmas movie nature of it, if we can keep that heart beating throughout the film, then we can get away with anything else. We can honestly, I'm a big believer in tone. And with the right tone, you can do anything. And hopefully we found that right balance. Yeah, no, that was, again, like, kudos to Pat and Josh, the writers. They really wrote a script that had a lot of twists and turns, surprises. Hopefully, you know, there's quite a few moments you don't see coming, and yeah, a couple of shocking moments in there too, in a fun way. Like, I only seen the film twice with a crowd, but it is truly a film you should see with a big audience. And without spoiling anything, there's a couple of scenes in the film that just play so great with a big audience where people are just shocked and surprised and laughing together, which is always great. When they sent me the script, they said it was like Die Hard with Santa Claus and he takes on terrorists and all that stuff. I thought, okay, that sounds cool, but how do you really sell the fact that he can take on these people and win? And how do you solve that? The writers, I thought, had a really good idea for that without spoiling anything, but it relates to his backstory, obviously. And I really thought they found an original way in for our Santa Claus. But me and David Harbour, we talked a lot about, okay, we also want to start with that famous Santa Claus we all know, the Coca-Cola Santa Claus with the red suit and the tiny glasses and the white hair, and really put him to the grinder. And through that journey, we slowly reveal who he really is. So it was a lot of fun trying to add to the world of Santa Clauses. It was a fast and hard and intense shoot, but a lot of fun. And I do think on this one, the fun that we had doing it and making the film, it really shows on screen. I really do. And it was a blast. Great crew, great actors. I hope people like what we've done. And I can't wait to see it with people and with the crowd and feel the energy and hopefully spread that Christmas spirit.